Africa and emerging markets have always been served the leftovers in terms of like financial innovation and technology, both from an utility perspective and even just from like a banking perspective.
Magma is creating the coordination point of talented founders and developers who are building Africa's economy and trust on-chain.
Magma's brought together an extraordinary group of people who are working on the continent and are working in real-world problems. So much of that is about the cost of capital and the cost of transactions, and financial inclusion sounds soft. What it actually is, they're allowing people to live, to do business, to buy the things that they need to buy, and live a better life.
So we are building the clearinghouse and communication layer for corporate enterprises, businesses, and banks to communicate with each other, in turn allowing them to do business with each other.
I just realized like how important it was to come here to meet other builders that are building totally different parts of an infrastructure, and how when we come together, we can actually create something that is so much bigger than just my project, their project.
A lot of the projects that you find here, they're actually addressing real-world challenges. Real-world challenges to do with payments, real-world challenges to do with credit, real-world challenges to do with how do we onboard even more users onto, the blockchain.
A lot of the value of this program has been now being able to have very mature conversations with other founders who are here, who are doing significant volumes and who actually have products out in the wild. And we are able to have conversations about how we could integrate and work together, done like a massive continental level. And like you're seeing people being so willing to help, being so accommodating of like different views and ideas.
We brought the builders out into the village and they got to hang out with the mamas and see how they were using some of the tech. I think that was really good because I think a lot of the builders and founders can now start to see that, these super marginalized communities are using their tech.
The scale of talent of the people that Magma has brought together has been really powerful. Learning about people's lives and their work has been profound because it hasn't been an environment where everyone's making a sales pitch. There's a real deep desire to learn and understand.
Yeah, I started my career as a software engineer, then mostly infrastructure engineer. I've been building infrastructures for blockchain networks for about 7 years now, which is basically what led me to building Blockops. Blockops is a Web3 infrastructure platform that makes it extremely easy for anyone to build, manage, and monitor their blockchain nodes.
This is a really powerful program for founders and builders that are not based on the continent. It gives you a real good opportunity to see how builders and founders are approaching building on the continent, and you get real insights and access to solving problems that you might have thought were the solutions, but the guys on the ground actually know what these solutions are.
Something else that I've also seen right here at Magma amongst the founders is the level of collaboration. I think that's one of the beauty of a program like this, Magma. Bringing really influential problem solver in the continent into a place, identifying all the problems and then collaborating together to solve different problems based on their background. I see a success in the next few years where someone in Nairobi will be using the next crypto or like blockchain friendly mobile application and they won't even know that they're using crypto. Everything is so abstracted that all what they're focused on is using that app to solve their immediate needs. I see talented folks right here. They really understand the journey that is right in front of them and they're doing all that they can to abstract the complexities.
There's really a lot of talent here and it's really about us just like being willing to make the effort to just connect with them and also just giving them the right resources to make sure they're successful.
The future of African financial ecosystem is in the room where guys who are building in DeFi are for. So given that I'm passionate about financial innovation, financial freedom, it's very exciting for me to sit in rooms and exchange ideas with innovators who are in sync with that vision of financial innovation.
The builder and like founder journey is it's very lonely. You can feel isolated. So having that community around you, is one trick to like, keep you going, keep you, you wake up in the morning and it's like, okay, you actually have like this community of people that believe in me and are looking forward to like what I do next. So I'm going to also like, do that. And what the first cohort of Magma did for me was that like, it made me realize that, I wasn't alone, right? And it's okay for something not to work. And even if it doesn't work, there are people that still believe in you. And the continent still needs you. The continent still needs your products. The world still needs your products, right? So being around those set of like builders, I felt really energized, and I felt like, I could come out of Magma and like take on the world again. People will sort of like get to realize, crypto needs Africa, and people would start seeing lots of real world solutions actually come out of like, Africa.
I don't think it's a natural thing, even at residencies, to have this amount of closeness. We all feel like we've known each other for months.